Good morning, everybody. It's Teresa. It's Monday morning. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I had a good weekend, very, very busy, but somewhat productive as I go about the busy holiday plans and preparations. I am invited to 5 Christmas parties this week. Oh my goodness, it's hard to believe that I'm even going to 5 Christmas parties when a few years ago I would have went to the work party and that really was it. It was just too much effort and too much work. And so this is going to be a challenging week for me on my journey. That's just this week. That's not even counting the week that I'll be gone for Christmas and New Year's and Christmas Eve and all those celebrations. Likely you're going to find yourself in the same situation. And so this morning, it's very early. I'm getting ready to go to work in a little bit. And I wanted to share with you some of the strategies that I'm going to use to get through this week and the following week without going off track. The first key, and I've mentioned this many, many times, is preparation. I have got to be prepared for these parties. That means I have to think ahead, I have to shop, I have to plan, I have to bring and make the food that I'm going to um, partake in, unless I want to use the excuse that, hey, well, I've got to eat something. Well, I do have to eat something, but I need to eat something that's going to be on my plan and that's not going to sabotage me or leave me feeling guilty. And so this week, the first party is tomorrow night, and it's for the Harrison Women's Association. And this is a group of ladies, a women's group that I belong to. And last month's meeting, I was the speaker and I shared my weight loss journey. And so I'm not really concerned about how they're going to react to my choices in food. This year, the party's being catered. And so I found out who the caterer was, and I took a look at their menu options, and I discovered that there really isn't anything on that menu that they're going to be serving that is going to fit into my plan. That's kind of unusual. Usually I can find something or I can adapt. And so this time I'm going to have to bring something. I will very likely stop on the way between work and the party and pick up a chicken salad or bowl of soup or something. I don't think the ladies are going to mind because, like I said, they've been very supportive of me on my journey, and that's just how I'm going to have to deal with it. Um, if there's appetizers or snacks, then I might be able to eat fruit or vegetables, but um, I'm not really concerned about that. Two other parties this week, three parties actually, involve potlucks. In those situations, I have to be conscious of the fact that there will be people at the party that are not struggling with weight issues and they can eat whatever they want. And so, therefore, I just have to bite the bullet and I have to bring a dish to pass that is going to be appealing to people. And that's just a part of life. In your situation, you have family members and you can't penalize them by not having Christmas cookies or not having treats or not having um, ice cream sundaes or pizza or whatever. You have to be strong enough to make good choices and to resist that. And so I'm not sure what I'm bringing to these three potlucks, but typically what I'll do is I'll bring a dish to pass and then I'll bring something that I know that I can eat. I'm thinking I might make spinach dip. Usually spinach dip is one of my specialties, and I'm toying around with the idea of leaving some of the spinach out and substituting low fat sour cream and maybe some plain yogurt, low fat cheese. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure what I'm going to eat with it because I won't eat a cracker. I have not had a cracker in over 3 years. I might have to just eat it with baby carrots or something, or just not at all. On Friday night, I have a big party at the college. This one is going to be quite challenging because they have very, very fancy hors d'oeuvres, all sorts of things, and a huge dessert table. I'll stay completely away from the dessert table. I have gone to that party for many years. This will be the third time I've gone to the party while on a journey. And even though they have this big chocolate fountain and all these fancy desserts, that I'll stay completely away from that. That won't tempt me. Um, but I'll have to make good choices when I go through the line. All those mini hors d'oeuvres and fancy cheese puffs and shrimp cocktails and stuffed mushrooms and crabs and such. Those are really high in calories. And so I'll have to kind of stick to the salads, maybe a couple little pieces of cheese and skip on the crackers, fruit, but no big fancy dips and that sort of thing. One thing that I'll do is if I'm going to sample something or if I'm going to use my calories, which I will, this will be my meal, then I'm going to choose things that are particular to the season, meaning I'm not going to have an opportunity for another year to do that. So when you go to a holiday party, don't fill up on bread and buns and things that you have throughout the year. Use your calories on those special treats or those special things, recipes that only happen at Christmas. I'm going to Christmas Eve. We have a tradition. We have brunch and then dinner and then midnight mass. We are together in my family from early morning all the way through after midnight mass. And so we always begin with cinnamon rolls. It's my grandmother's recipe and all sorts of cookie trays and all of that. Last year, what I did is I took a Fiber One bar. Please don't anybody write and tell me about how I shouldn't be eating protein bars or Fiber One bars. That's a choice that's worked for me, and that's what I do. That whether you buy those, that's up to you. But what I'm going to do is they have a Fiber One bar that's called Oats and Caramel, and it to me tastes just like an oatmeal butterscotch cookie, which is one of my favorites. And so last year I took one of those and I broke it up in little bite-sized pieces. I put it on my plate. I also have found this oatmeal, or excuse me, ocean spray, like pomegranate berry little um, juice that comes in a can. It's very low calorie and it's all fizzy and it's red, reddish purple. And so last year I poured it in a wine glass and I don't have that during the year. So it was a big deal. I felt like I was blending in. And as I was sitting there, nobody around me knew that I wasn't drinking a glass of wine or having a cocktail. I was having, I believe it's 50 calories for the whole can. This ocean spray. There's all sorts of fizzy waters and drinks out there that are low calorie or very no calorie that you can use. I will have to bring my own steamed fresh vegetables or such. Some basic tips for the food wise: use a small plate. Use a dessert plate rather than a great big plate. Fill the dessert plate if you must, but that's going to certainly be a whole lot less calories than filling a great big plate. Eat only until you're full. The temptation is to try this and try that and just keep eating and eating because everybody else is. Um, what I'll do before I go to the parties, I will very likely have a high protein Greek yogurt or a piece of fruit or something so that I'm not just famished. Many times, people, if they have a party and they know they're going to be going out to dinner or feasting, then they'll go the entire day without eating. That's not a good idea because you're going to be so hungry that you're just going to overeat. Don't do that. Tomorrow or a few days from now, I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to beat depression, how to emotionally get through the difficult times of the holidays. But I'm not telling you in any way what to do or to not eat or not enjoy the seasons, the festivities or the cookies or whatever. But I'm just sharing with you some of the tips and how I'm going to get through it. I don't have um, any anticipation that this Christmas is going to be any different in terms of my eating plan than the last two. Right now, I'm not going forward with the plan that I'm going to partake, that I'm going to eat whatever I want just because I'm close to goal or I've been maintaining this weight. Um, I cannot this Christmas, next Christmas, any Christmas down the road, ever believe that I'm going to be able to go back to that old way of life and eat whatever I want. Eat the treats, eat the candy canes, eat the candy, the fudge, all of that. I cannot ever imagine that that's going to happen because, like I've said multiple times, I didn't go on a diet. I changed my way of life. When you change your way of life, you can't go back. It's a permanent part. Now, I may indulge in sugar free peppermint um, creamer that I saw in the store. That might be in my oatmeal. That might be in my coffee. That will make the holiday season a little different than every typical week. Stay on track, people. Um, don't give up. You can get through this. Yes, people can make it through the holidays without gaining 5 or 7 or 10 pounds. I've done it, and you can do it too. I believe in you. Have a good day, everybody.